Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at Meowscarada in the Great League from the recent Community Day. It did receive 2 move updates, but its move Flower Trick is not very good at all. So we're going to be running it with Night Slash and Frenzy Plant. I'm going to be pairing up with Primeape and also Clodsire. Now let's get into the battles. Alright, in the first match we have a great lead into Greninja. Leafage is absolutely tearing through Greninja. They must be completely core broken to be staying in here. Night Slash going to be doing barely anything. The opponent's going to say switch it into Weezing, and I'm going to answer with Clodsire. Now this is a great matchup for Clodsire, but the opponent can have the ability to flip it by landing multiple overheats. I'm just going to let it through as... Wait, they just go for the sludge? Alright then, sure. That's great. We can no-shield this. And I'm going to overfarm and go for the Earthquake. Earthquake will be grabbing KO if they let it through, and they do. The opponent's going to send in Greninja, and I'm going to go for the Stone Edge. That's probably going to grab a shield. Now, what most people would have done in that Earthquake situation was throw in the Stone Edge, which I don't think you should have. I'm going to now say switch back into Meowscarada, go for the Night Slash to try grab a shield, as it does, and now I'm going to let this Night Slash through. It won't KO, so we should be able to make it to the move, but I would rather farm on my Primeape. Primeape comes in and, okay, there's Gastron in the back, and this game is signed, sealed, and delivered. There is absolutely no way this opponent wins the game unless I make some crazy misplay, and I'm really not sure. I could go for the close combat there, but the safe play is going for the Rage Fist first, and then the close combat to finish off this game. And this is going to be a GG's, as we can easily farm down the Greninja, and that's a good game. In the next match, we see a terrible lead into Charjabug. They don't have much fast move pressure, so we can stay in for a bit, and this wasn't really an attempt at a catch. I'm not really sure why I did that. Probably should have thrown 2 more leafages to try to get that catch when they get the double up, which is when most people throw. They're going to answer my Clodsire with Feraligatr, so fairly RPS so far, but anyway, I'm going to go for the Stone Edge. That's going to grab a shield, and they're going to fire for another Hydro Cannon. I'm going to send in Meowscarada. That's completely fine. Just blocking a message there. Gonna go for the Night Slash. Unfortunately, they do let it through as... Oh, but they get giant misplay. They get too greedy and try go for the Ice Beam. And we actually get the attack boost, which means I can stay in here, go for the Night Slash. That does absolutely massive damage. Now, the opponent's gonna go for the X-Scissor, but we're able to catch onto the Primeape. And this isn't gonna do much damage at all. As it is going to be resisted. In the back, oh no, there's Drifloon. This isn't good. We need to get rid of this Drifloon, as after farming down, they will have so much energy loaded. Now, I'm going to go for this Rage Fist here, and we're relying on one thing. Does this Night Slash here KO? If it does, we have a chance at this game. Please. And it barely gets the KO. We're able to now farm down the Charjabug or go for the Night Slash. The opponent recognizes that, and that's a GG's. Oh no. That's a really, really bad lead. I'm going to throw 1 Leafage just to get a bit of an energy head start, as that might be important later on in the match. Opponent's going to respond my Clodsire with Cresselia, and this is probably the most RPS game I've seen so far. This is pretty bad. Feature Sight is going to connect, does a lot of damage. I'm going to go for the Earthquake, and the opponent seems to be a very high level player here. Bit higher than usual. They throw 1 before we make it to the Stone Edge. Very good. Grass Knot's going to take care of us, and I'm going to send Meowscarada. Meowscarada completely neutralizes Cresselia's energy, as they have shown that they only have resisted moves to throw. And then they're going to come back in with Talonflame, and I'm going to throw 1 in the move, which is going to prove to be very important in this game. This is the craziest game you've ever seen. Anyway, I'm going to go for the Rage Fist. Rage Fist is going to be grabbing a shield, which is actually quite nice. Wasn't expecting that. I'm going to go for the next Rage Fist, and the opponent makes a huge misplay here. This is an absolutely gigantic misplay. They throw. Why would you throw? Anyway, we're going to go for 2. And the move, just for good timing, this Night Slash will not KO. Well, 1 off. So, okay, we get the boost. Did we just get the boost? Did I just see that right? We got the boost. What's in the back? No, it's Dunsparce. There's absolutely no way we win this game. Wait, we make it to the frenzy button. No way this KOs. It's a Dunsparce, and it absolutely destroys the Dunsparce, and we win a pretty unwinnable game. In the next match, we see a pretty bad lead in Clodsire. This isn't great, but honestly, if they're in Stone Age, then this can play pretty decently for us. I like to bait here, as Frenzy Plant does do a lot, but unfortunately this opponent calls it. That's honestly kind of okay though, as we can go for the Frenzy Plant now, and that will be taking care of the Clodsire. I probably should have overfarmed a bit more there, but that's completely fine. The opponent's going to come in with a Seeking. That is a spicy pick, and also going to be really, really bad. Luckily, Night Slash grabs a shield, and I'm going to send in Clodsire, as Poison Jab is very resistant. Now, I do know the opponent has Joron. They should get her on 8 Poison Jabs, and then 7 on the next. So, I'm going to go for the Stone Edge here, as it will likely grab a shield. And I will, let's see. Actually, no shield. I do shield this Icy Wind, which is a bit unfortunate. I was definitely debating shielding that. The opponent catches onto Wigglytuff, but that's completely fine with me. Honestly, it's really good to see it here instead of on the Primeape. I'm going to go for the Earthquake. Earthquake is going to do a decent amount of damage, to be honest. But it doesn't put it in very good range. So this should only be the Swift. Swift will not care. We should be able to get in a few more Poison Jabs before switching into Primeape. Now, we do get a nice farm down, and I make a huge mistake here. I counted wrong. I thought they were 1 off. Now, Rage Fist doesn't KO, and they were 2 off. So that slight 1 Poison Jab counting error cost me the whole game, as 1 Poison Jab KOs, and we lose a heartbreaking game. In the next match, we see a bit of a weird lead into Malamar. Now, Psywaves are double resisted, but they can one-shot us with Superpower. They're going to bait with the Foul Play, that's fine. And the opponent's going to overfarm and actually catch onto the Superior. That's alright, as we can continue to overfarm here and then catch onto Clodsire. Clodsire shouldn't take too much damage from these Aerial Aces, and that should put us into a bout Poison Sting plus Stone Edge range, where it will KO. Frenzy Plant will do some decent damage, and now we can overfarm by 4, and then go for the Stone Edge. Stone Edge will be grabbing here, and the opponent's going to send back in Malamar. They allow us to get to a Earthquake, which is kind of nice, but I think I might have rather go for the Stone Edge, so we leave with more residual energy, as either one would probably KO. I'm going to send in Meowscarada and go for the bait, as the opponent's probably going to be shielding that. Going for another Night Slash. It's not going to KO, but it is going to get some nice damage and put Malamar in a very nice farm down range for whatever Pokemon we have. Now, Azumarill. This might look really unwinnable. A fighting type that gets one-shot by Azumarill, and look at that Roach Fist. Absolutely no damage. But look at this. Opponent's going to go for the Ice Beam. That's completely fine with me. I'm going to go for the Rage Fist on good timing, because good timing is absolutely necessary in these mid-games like this. I'm going to overfarm and then catch under Clodsire. Now this was our win con. Even though we don't have the boost anymore, it's fine, as 2 Rage Fists still KO. If the opponent tries to swap into Malamar, we should still have enough energy to still take this game. I was going to charge up to back-to-back to make this game easier, but they switched into Malamar at the wrong time as well. Anyway, we're able to take that game, which is very nice, despite them having a Fairy type on our Fighting type and a Psychic type on our Poison type for a while. Oh no, this is really, really bad. We only have 1 soft answer on this team, and it is Clodsire. The opponent attempts the catch on Dunsparce, but I'm going to throw the Earthquake anyway. Earthquake is going to do some decent damage, and the second one should KO after a fair amount of Poison Stings. Now, I make so many big mistakes in these games here, unfortunately. I'm going to go for the Stone Edge, which is really, really weird, as I was expecting them to shield, but they don't. And I don't throw as well. That's even worse. Why wouldn't I throw? And Duran unfortunately KOs. I'm doing really bad in this game. Now it looks like Annihilate will completely sweep my team. They go for the Rage Fist, and I have to shield this, as otherwise it would do so much damage. I'm going to go for the Rage Fist. Rage Fist is going to do some great damage, so the opponent's going to shield it up. And if the opponent invests both shields into Annihilate, it looks like for the opponent, it's going to be an Annihilate sweep. I'm going to go for the Rage Fist, and Rage Fist is going to be grabbing another shield. From here, I kind of got to switch. Oh my goodness. Look at the counters. They're doing so much damage. Absolutely insane damage. And that's just a GG's. There's absolutely no way we could win that game. In the next match, we see a great lead into Marowak. Now, I wasn't really sure, as this was my first battle, with the amount of damage that Meowscarada takes, so I'm going to shield this up, even though it's probably just going to be a Bone Club. I was still wondering how much damage it would do. I'm going to go for the Night Slash. Unfortunately, the bait doesn't work. This should just be another Bone Club, I think. That is a lot less than I expected. Anyway, we're able to get the farm down, which is quite surprising. And then the opponent's going to bring in, let's see, Toxapex. So that's fine. We can land a Frenzy Plant, which will put them into farm down range for Clodsire. I mean, not farm down range, that's never happening. Earthquake range for our Clodsire. The opponent's going to go for the brand. It's not going to do too much. And what's in the lead? Marowak. So I'm going to say it's probably a Malamar maybe in the back. Okay, no, it's a Zoomerl. Definitely got that wrong. Now, looks pretty good. I overfarmed a bit too much, so I had to throw in good timing, which probably wasn't worth it. Opponent's going to shield up the Earthquake, and they're going to go for the move. And I just thought Primeape could sweep the endgame, but the opponent goes with the play rough, which probably means they're on the Hydro Pump moveset as well. I'm going to switch into Primeape, and this is just a GG's. There's absolutely no way the opponent makes it to two moves before we make it to 3 moves. There's no way that's happening. As Zoomerl's pacing is really bad, and Primeape's pacing is really good, so this is just a 1 game. And we actually go pretty good with this. Thanks for watching. Thanks a lot. Means a lot to me.